Well, hello. We'd like to welcome you to the Life-Changing Word and welcome you into the new year. We hope you've had a great Christmas season here, and as we come into the new year, we just hope you're going to have a great new year that's in front of you. You excited about the new year, Pastor Bob?
Happy New Year, Weyman.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, 2005.
Yes, here we go.
I didn't think we would make it this far.
Yeah, with some of the things that happened last year, I was wondering what was going to happen too.
But we did, and
yes,
so here we are.
Did. Here we are. And as we come into a new year, it's a time when lots of people are making New Year resolutions and new commitments to different things and stuff.
That's right. It seems to be a big fad, you know, that for the first 3 weeks of 2005, people will change their lives. And thereafter, it goes back to the way it was in 2004.
Wow.
But, you know, Weight Watchers does a big business in the month of January.
Yeah, that's true. We have a tendency, it seems like, we get excited when the new year comes and we make our list of all these changes that we're going to do, and slowly each one starts fading away, fading away, fading away, until eventually it seems like they all fade away and we don't fulfill any of those things that I think we really truly wanted to accomplish.
Why do you think people feel the need to have New Year's resolutions?
Well, I think we really honestly take a look at certain things in our life and we really come to an understanding that there are some things that we want to change about ourselves or things we want to do differently, make improvements on. And I think down inside of everybody we want to be better.
Mm-hmm. So why do we use like the turn-in of a calendar as the impetus to get started? I mean, why wait till January? Why not start in September? I don't get it.
Because we like to procrastinate, and we can procrastinate, and so we say, okay, we'll just put it on January 1st because we probably should have done it back in September 1st.
Yeah.
But on January 1st, I make a commitment that I'm going to change.
There you go. Well, there's a lot of good intentions, but you know, in order for you to change things in your life, you have to have more than good intentions.
Yeah.
You have to choose. You have to be committed to your choices day after day after day. And that's hard for a lot of folks to do.
Commitment is probably one of the things that I believe is lacking in society these days.
Sure.
Although we do have a tendency to commit to certain things, and it's those things that are important to us.
That's true. And I agree with that. But I think that overall in our society, we see a lack of commitment. And I don't know if a lack of commitment is related to a lack of integrity. I kind of have a feeling it might be. But even in the different segments of our society and of our world, we see a lack of commitment. That's why you'll hear sports figures. You know, sports is huge in our entertainment industry. Is huge in our society, who will have a contract, but they won't stay committed to their contract. They want more, you know, especially if they had a good season or whatever. I deserve this. Well, you know, where's the commitment level? Or the team that they've played with for so long offers them the contract, but you know, somebody else is offering them just a little bit more. So people aren't committed to teams necessarily anymore. It's you know, whatever you can get at the most price, and that filters over and is the same mentality that people have in other places of society, such as relationships or jobs or whatever. A lack of commitment is a huge thing in our society.
Yeah, it's we have a tendency to be looking for greener grasses someplace. So we can get a little bit more money, get something a little bit newer, something a little bit fresher. We have a tendency then, if we haven't made a commitment to it, we're pulled by this, whatever it is that's starting to pull us that way. But I believe there's also something else that happens. It's maybe not always looking for something nicer or newer, but when things start going tough, when things start happening that could possibly involve some work, some pain, some suffering, we want to just cut it off and run.
Yeah, running when it gets tough is something that we do pretty well, you know. And I think there's a lot of people who pain is such a a harsh taskmaster. It drives you, and we avoid it at all costs. And commitment always, to my understanding, my understanding of commitment and what it's been in my life, has always required something that wasn't easy. Commitments always cost me something, and you have to choose if the price is worth staying committed to something. You know, there's been a lot of times I remember my mom and dad teaching me, you know, if I had made a commitment, I was going to keep it, even if it meant I missed out on something that would have been really cool to do or someplace to be. And those are hard lessons for a kid to learn. But you know what? You're a part of that group. You're a part of that, you know, whatever. And you made a commitment to them. They're counting on you, and it's not optional. That was the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm. I can remember, because I grew up playing all sorts of sports. So you make a commitment to your team and the sport that you're playing at that time. And I can remember two specific instances. I can remember the time we were playing football at the high school, and things just weren't going really good at practice, and the coaches decided they were just going to basically try to run us into the ground and tackle and run and tackle and run because they didn't like what was going on. Mm-hmm. And it went on literally for hours and hours. They made up drills. They made up things for us to do. And some of the guys just got fed up and said, that's it, I ain't doing it. I quit, and walked off the field. And then the coaches got madder and made us do more. But some of those guys walked off the field and said, I'm not going to do this. I refuse to do this. Mm-hmm. And then there was those of us that stuck it out, and I'm not saying what they did was right, but no matter what they did, if we were committed to playing on this team and playing, we needed to stick it out. And it wasn't easy to do, I'll tell you that. There was a lot of people losing stuff out of their body in the process there.
Watch it.
But
there's a family show.
But we were committed to it. And on the other hand, I can also remember playing on a team in college, and the year before, we hadn't lost any games. We were the champions at Gavilan College in tennis. And the next year, almost all the players had left except for me and one person. And it went the opposite way, where I think we only won one match that year. And the coach really kind of started getting rude towards us, and yelled and screamed. I can remember one match, me and my partner played our hearts out. And he at the end of the match, he yelled and screamed at us and, you know, said, my grandmother could play better, yeah, like that. I mean, we'd really played our hearts out. And I can remember walking off the court saying, that's it. I don't need to take this from the coach. I'm not going to take it. I didn't deserve it. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He had never coached tennis to the year before. And I can remember walking off and telling my parents, that's it. I ain't going back there. The heck with him. Well, I'll probably use some other words other than that. and my dad said, no, you won't do that. You made a commitment to that team, and it doesn't matter whether he was right or wrong in what he did. You need to stick the season out, and you will. He had to remind me of that.
But, Weyman, I don't think parents teach their kids that way very much anymore. At least that's the evidence I see. You know, I see a lot of, you know, if it's convenient, okay, if it feels good, okay. But when, like you said, when it gets tough, I see parents coddling. That's maybe not the right word. They're sheltering their kids from having to stick to commitments. You know, it's okay if you quit. I know that we tried to teach our kids, no, you stick through your commitments, you know, and I think it makes a world of difference in the quality of life that people live. And I think where people have not learned to stick to their commitments, they experience a lot more pain in their life than otherwise.
I mean, here I was in college, junior college, and my parents had to remind me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's right. I think we as parents don't do that. It's not instilled. We don't instill it into our children. Oh, I don't want to do that. And we just, okay, and we give in. And we really, they need to know what it means to commit to something.